I recognize that most humans throughout most of human history have believed this, and they've structured societies around us. Our 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 world is unique in that we are completely materialistic, and that we deny the existence of God, that we deny the existence of the soul, of consciousness. In neuroscience, no one has actually spent any research into the nature of our consciousness, and that's kind of weird because we spend most of our time thinking, right? So, like why haven't we looked into where our thoughts come from, how we structure our thoughts, and how we communicate our ideas? So the Divine Comedy was a great awakening, and then like as I studied history, I recognize a great paradox in our history, which is scientists know that our minds, the way that our minds are structured with the frontal lobe, our minds have been this way for the past 200,000 years, but we only have like 10,000 years of recorded history. So what were we doing before the Ice Age? Were we just like, in caves, freezing to death, or running around chasing monkeys? Like what were we doing for 200,000 years? And then you look at places like Göbekli Tepe, in Turkey. You look at places like the Amazon forest, the Grand Valley in the United States. There's so much evidence of previous civilizations in these places before, and so I don't know how much of our history is real. So these past 4 years, I've been on a journey, and also I've been looking into certain conspiracy theories, like such as a moon landing, such as JFK, such as 9/11, and the evidence is kind of overwhelming.
Overwhelming in what direction? That it's just fake.
In the government is covering things up, right? I mean, like you just look at 9/11, and you just Google World Trade Center building number 7. You're like, oh, wait a minute here. I thought 2 buildings came down, right? Because there were 2 planes, but 3 buildings came down that day. So how did that happen? Right? And like the moon landing. Oh, okay, we got to the moon, but apparently we lost all the technology. We lost all the data, the telemetry data, and we lost all the footage. So I'm like, oh, how did that happen? Like you have this huge bureaucratic organization, and they lost all the technology.
So what do you think is going on? Like you think they just like faked all of it? Like they set up 9/11 on their own to like go to war in the Middle East to create sufficient cause? Is that what it is?
Again, I unless you have a full appreciation of the cult and its impact on the imagination of people, it's really hard to understand what their motivations are, right? But once you understand their cult, once you look into secret societies, they really believe they have a religious mandate from God to remake the world in a certain way that welcomes God to our world, right? So look at artificial intelligence. And like this New Yorker article by Ronan Farrow on Sam Altman, where he interviews some OpenAI researchers, and they say like, oh, we're trying to summon demons with AI. Like they're being literal about this. They're not joking about this. They're not being metaphorical. They're being literal.
You don't think that's just self-interested to greatly increase the potential impact of AI and how scary it is in an effort to justify all the additional billions of dollars in fundraising? Because there's 2 different schools of thought on this, right? Many people don't believe that AGI is truly possible, and then there are some who are simply trying to feed the bubble to the best of their ability. And part of that is to say that AI is going to take over everything. It's so scary. And that actually causes a lot of people to pay close attention to it and to continue giving money to it, to continue giving money to the likes of Sam Altman specifically, so they can continue, I guess, trying to develop it to the best of their ability. I do have a question for you. So you said you
Sure.
read The Divine Comedy only 4 years ago? That seems a little far-fetched considering that you got an English degree from Yale.
Well, I mean, but the Divine Comedy is in Italian, right? So we read Shakespeare, Milton, Keats, Wordsworth. We were reading English poetry.
So you didn't read Divine Comedy through your English major at Yale?
No, no, no. And Divine Comedy is actually very hard to read. I mean, I read a lot of classics at Yale. I read, you know, Homer and Plato, but we never read the Divine Comedy.
Okay. I mean,
We should have.
We read it. We read it in. I think we read. I mean, I read it in Turkey in like 8th grade, I think. But you know,
Right.
I didn't fully
Right.
understand it. But then again, I also didn't think that it was like divine intervention that like was incepted into Dante's brain.
I spent the past 2 weeks teaching Divine Comedy, and I spent every single day trying to tell people this is God's work. This is not Dante. This is the universe